Alright guys, so I'm gonna try to use some natural lighting for these ones. Definitely one of the most interesting pairs of sneakers samples I have in my collection, and as you saw from the title, we have the Reebok Voyage from season NBA 2007-2008, and this specific one is the Yao Ming PE China exclusive one. This particular colorway and version of the shoe never released in the States, so it's kind of rare in this sense of thinking. But let's go over it and mention a few things that are around the construction and everything else. Shifting back in 2007-2008, Reebok still had quite a significant stand in the NBA. Obviously, it's not what it was in the early 90s and mid 90s, but they had a handful of players playing in Reebok, at least a dozen. These shoes were used obviously by Yao Ming, Baron Davis, Marvin Williams, I think, a couple of other players as well. But like I said, at least a dozen of them used that specific model. And this one, being the P for Yao Ming, playing for the Huston Rockets at the time. It is what it is. We know how it went down over the years, but this is what Reebok came out at that time. And in my mind, there's absolutely beautiful and very functional, and I wish that there was a performance review of it of some sort back in the day, but that was not popular then, I guess, because these carry a lot of performance features that I am curious to find out how will they actually come together on the court. So starting from the upper, this particular version has the synthetic nubuck, but there was several different colorways, at least 4 or 5 main colorways that were released, and they featured full grain leather upper, and some of them featured that nubuck as well. We have stitched in beautiful, absolutely perfect vector logo on the toe box. We have another vector logo here on the outsole. Reebok Performance, you read over here on this kind of a TPU, softer TPU strap. Reebok's been doing these kind of supportive straps for years and years and years, all the way from 1989, since the beginning of the original pump. They implemented in the Omnizone line and a whole bunch of other Reebok basketball shoes, but they kind of preserved that retro look with that in this model. And this TPU actually wraps around all the way underneath, and you can kind of see it, where the midsole is, the outsole is translucent, that the TPU actually goes all the way across, so it kind of provides that torsional support as well. Right off the bat, you're going to notice the DMX on the back, or how Reebok called it at the time. It was DMX Mega, sort of, Air Max looking system. But to be honest, DMX is far, dates far back in the past. So this way, in this particular version, they kind of exposed it outside. Normally they expose it on the bottom. You are familiar with the DMX system, but here they expose it outside, on the lateral side. And as you can see, obviously there's, empty space inside. This is functional DMX, it's not DMX foam. And actually works. When you put it on feet, you can feel it. It's soft, it's comfortable. Midsole is a bit of a dense polylite version. It's not polyurethane obviously, but it's a little bit denser than normal polylites. Very interesting around the heel, we have this softer section, kind of like a memory foam all around. Very, very nice. And on the back we have Yao as Yao Ming right here, and this is reflective material. I'm not 100% sure if it's 3M or it's just other reflective material. And Reebok were using a lot of that logo abbreviation of Reebok, RBK, from kind of like mid 2000s to end of 2000s. Not a huge fan of that, but that's present here as well. We have a little bit more support on the medial side right here. Obviously this is softer because I can feel the DMX system inside, but being not exposed provides a little bit more support for that movement, and you're preventing your foot for shifting inwards. Lots of ventilation, as you can see, all this mesh and perforation, that's ventilation for the shoe. Same goes for the ton. And another reflective material is here on the top side of the ton, where Yao Ming logo is. This was his personal logo for the Reebok line. And some of you will notice the toe box is tiny bit squarish. It was pretty popular across all brands around the 2000s, including Jordan brand, Nike, and other ones. And I think it's probably personal preference to the players as well when they tailor the shoes. I like it. It's not bad at all. I really like that red stitching as well. That accent is absolutely beautiful. And one of the other things in technology to mention is the play dry lining and system. Reebok were using that for over a decade. I'm not sure why they're not using it anymore, or they're still using it. It's just not marketing it or displaying it on the shoes. But this is material that kind of absorbs the sweat and the odor, and makes, kind of neutralizes it and makes sure that it doesn't smell and doesn't feel wet on your feet. And one other touch from Yao Ming on the back of the thong. We have 11, his jersey number with the Huston Rockets. And this is the label right here, BYA sample from 2007. Like I said, 10 years old, but these are perfect. These will probably remain perfect for a very long time because they use that new synthetic nubuck. It's kind of like suede. You can see the change of the hair, short hair when you move your finger across. And let me see if I can pull the insole and show it to you. The insole is very good as well, the typical Reebok performance insole. But one more thing to mention here is the tongue is held by bungees, which Reebok has been doing for ages. This is the Reebok anatomically correct insole, just with the logo. We've seen this insole used in so many different models across Reebok throughout the years. So, what else to recap about this shoe? I absolutely love this colorway. The black and red color combination is one of my favorite in all time. And I think this one, being China exclusive, PE Yao Ming, it's making it one of the most rare pairs in my possession, at least. In my mind, it's extremely viable because of that. I'm not sure I'm gonna be wearing these because I like them too much. I kind of want them to be preserved. I don't want to trash them. And trust me, they're extremely comfortable. I really like how they feel. The DMX system is responsive. This outsole is very interesting as well. Middle section is translucent, and the other section, you see how those grooves are directional. So again, my predictions and my expectations were these were pretty decent basketball shoes at the time, and obviously this retention and kind of supportive plate that goes all around probably provided very good support, and at the same time position your foot in the footbed, keep it together when you lace them up here. Overall, I think they did a great job with this shoe, and I'm kind of sad that Reebok are not making these kind of basketball performance shoes anymore, because I think they're severely underrated, and I like them a lot. I mean, in my mind, this shoe looks great. I would not hesitate to wear out casually every day and be proud of it because it looks amazing, and for me it's just a great PE. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Stay tuned to the channel. Hit the thumbs up, of course. Helps me a lot. If you're new, subscribe. There'll be plenty of new videos coming up, plenty of Reebok as well. And as always, guys, you have a wonderful day.